any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that itch. And I know if I'm gonna have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that itch. Because that's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face.
I know you're tired. I know you're hurting. And I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational. But that just wouldn't be our style. Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Right on.
This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. This is your home. You hear that? You hear that? That's special. There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Not but one. All I want you to do tonight is play your best.
Every man at some point in his life is going to lose a battle. He's going to fight and he's going to lose. But what makes him a man is that in the midst of that battle, he does not lose himself. This game is not over. This battle is not over. So let's hear it one more time. Together. Clear eyes, full hearts.
Let's go.
Welcome to Town Meeting. This first episode is called Pigskin Picks. Me and my brother-in-law, Zachary. This is Zachary. Wave at the people, Zachary. There you go. There you go. Today we're just getting together and putting out this first episode. It's going to be really simple, just a ranking. We're not going to go deep into any of the movies. We have our top 7 favorite football movies, our top 5 favorite coaches of all time, and our top 5 players of all time, whether from movies or real life.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I'm saying yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to add to it.
No.
I was like, go ahead. So before we get started, Zach, I would like to ask you, what is your relationship with football and what brought you to it?
Okay, so I started playing when I was in 7th grade. I was finally able to play for the middle school, and that was kind of when I started watching football as well. I remember one of the first times watching was the 2006 Super Bowl with the Colts versus Bears. Being able to watch that one with Peyton Manning. And then ever since then, I basically watched it. Been playing like fantasy football since like 2008. And so that's just my story.
For me, started with Pee Wee, your lovely wife, my sister. Our older brother, Eldon, he, before I was adopted by the family, he asked me if I wanted to play football with him. And I was like, I've never thought about it. Sure. Yeah, I never watched football. Like, we were a baseball family. My biological family was a baseball family. I know nothing about my personality says baseball, but no, we were a baseball family. So Eldon wanted me to play football, so I did, and that's when I started watching it. He liked the Buccaneers. Like I said, no slandering Eldon's team. He's not here to defend himself. Or, I mean, them. But anyways, that's where I became a fan of the Patriots, and we'll get into that later. And then, of course, I'm really my own actual seeking out a team. I'm a fan of the Lions, so have been since Jerry Harrington was their quarterback. So I've seen all the roughness.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, and of course I played, and of course through playing, we ended up watching different movies, whether with a football team or whatever, and that's what brought us here to this video. So let's start with our honorable mentions. Zach, you're the guest. You go ahead.
All right. So I have a few honorable mentions with the movies. So I have Gridiron Gang, I have We Are Marshall, and then Varsity Blues. I have watched Gridiron Gang and We Are Marshall a few times. First time only seeing Varsity Blues getting ready for this podcast. So
What did you think?
it is good. A little too much stuff, let's say,
Yeah, yeah.
happened outside of the football field that I wasn't a huge fan of, but overall, still a pretty good movie.
Okay, hold on. You're frozen. Oh, there you go. Okay. All right, I'll cut that out. Don't worry. So my honorable mentions, real easy. The Program, very fun movie it's a little bit of a shining the light on program, like the football program. Just like probably how it is in real life with everything's for the program, the athletes don't matter, that kind of thing. I think even with NIL, that's still the case. It's always, well, who's the next quarterback after a guy gets hurt? Next man up mentality. you know, um,
Right now,
everything's good.
right
You
now,
what?
it's money.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everything's for the good of the program. Anyways, very good movie. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. We Are Marshall, like you said. Very, very tough movie for them to have made. And I think they made the best version of it. It's just very slightly didn't make my list.
Yeah.
And Friday Night Lights is on here. We don't have to get into that. The show is better. And I believe you'll get deeper into that later, so we can just skip that.
I agree.
And then, of course, I'll give my take and everything. All right, you go ahead with your top 7 movies, man.
All right. So my number 7 is When the Game Stands Tall.
Mhm.
If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. It is about a high school team that for 12 years went unbeaten, which is insane to me. If I remember correctly, it was like 151 wins, which with my high school team, that would have taken us 1,000 years to get 151 wins. And basically, when that streak ends, how do you cope with that? How do you deal with that and being able to show adversity, still having a great team, but not being no longer considered the best of the best in that aspect?
So think about it this way. Each high school season is 10 games long. You said it's 151 straight wins, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
That's
think so.
15 years.
I said like 12 years. I might be wrong with my number then. Let's take out the number then.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But 12 or 15, that's
I wonder
heck of a streak.
I wonder if you count like playoffs too.
In my like playoffs and state championships, they may have counted that because a lot of people do that.
Yeah, so I think we're basing that up because I remember looking up. I remember it saying 12 years, but
Yeah. So yeah, they probably counted the playoffs each year too.
But anyways, all right. So my number 6 is Facing the Giants. Just loving that. It's all about faith and everything, and how with God, it's debatable how much he loves football like that, but he'll turn around a team. Kind of wish my coach had done that because we for sure were not good. Kind of hope that, we could have started using God. And then also, as a kicker who cannot kick very far, I can relate to their kicker as well, because if my coach came and said, hey, I need you to kick a 51-yarder, I would also say, hey, can't make that. Anything you want to add?
No, that's a good. I wish I had thought about that movie when I made my list. I think we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't feel it's right for me to change my list right now. Otherwise, that would probably be number 7 over my number 7.
All right. My number 5 is Greater. It is a must watch for Razorback fans, for people, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s, understood what Brandon Burlesworth meant to the Razorback program. I mean, he has an award named after him. Kind of makes him special in your own right.
A national award too, right? Like that's
Yeah, it's natural.
not just a school specific, right? Yeah.
No, it is. Everyone, if you have been a walk-on, you have the option to win the Burlesworth.
Right.
That's
an even bigger deal.
Yeah, it's a great movie too. It's a good showing that like anything is possible. You can see like right now I'm looking, I have a bunch of ones that are like, we gotta believe that we can be successful and everything. My number 4 is Draft Day. Yes, it's a football movie. You can make an argument it's the ultimate football movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is, to millions of people, the happiest day on earth. Every team is going to the Super Bowl after the draft. Because their draft is an A+. Boom, we're going to the Super Bowl. Shoot, in the movie, the Cleveland Browns were chanting Super Bowl. So that means you know it must be a good movie if that's the reason Cleveland Browns, because they're not getting the Super Bowl probably for a while. Sorry, not sorry, Brown fans.
After drafting a linebacker, no less.
Yeah, after drafting a linebacker and then being like, oh, you know who we need? A punt returner. That's going to be the difference between us going from the bottom of the league to the top of the league as a punt returner. Unless your name is Devin Hester or Josh Cribbs, very few punt returners are going to be that big of an impact.
Or if you want to go off college, Felix Jones was that guy. That's just Razorback examples.
Joe Adams, if we're going punt returner, though.
Yeah.
Punt returner. My number 3 is The Longest Yard. Adam Sandler, one of his best movies. Plus, with being a wrestling fan myself, all the cameos that were in there, being able to combine wrestling and football combined, great. Like, I love that. And it's rewatchable. It's so rewatchable. You know what's going to happen in the end, but you're still like, oh, did he make the touchdown? Oh, okay, yeah, he did. Fantastic. And plus that trick play at the end, A+.
You know, the Lions a couple years ago, it may have been last year, kind of ran that trick play on defense. There was I can't believe I can't remember. I'm blanking on his name, but he went over and was acting like he was coming out of the game, and he really was going over there in coverage, and I think he intercepted the football.
See, even in real life, the play works. More teams need to run the play. I'm not saying every week, but throw it in every once in a while.
Yeah, it's like those reverse flea flickers. Like, they're not gonna work every time, but when they do, they're fun to see.
Exactly. My number 2 is very slightly controversial. It's Remember the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the Titans. You're rooting for them the entire time. You understand what they're going through with trying to integrate everyone together. Plus, it shows how great Denzel is as an actor. And also, very quotable.
No.
Talk about left side, strong side. Everyone knows that. And being able to just, you want to root for them knowing at the end that they're going to win the state championship.
Jump on it like a starving man after a Christmas ham. That's my favorite quote from the movie.
There you go. And then my number 1 is The Waterboy.
Fair enough.
It's in my opinion, the best Adam Sandler movie he has ever made, which is saying a lot because he's made a lot of great movies. But it's a feel good movie. You're rooting for them. Very unrealistic when it comes to football because if you power bomb someone in the middle of the game, you're definitely getting thrown out or drop kicking them in the face. Which, if you play football, there's been times where you 100% wanted to drop kick someone in the face.
Yeah.
Plus, it also has wrestling cameo. Shout out Captain Insano, aka The Big Show.
Yeah.
Once again, every movie, either if you're the Razorbacks included or you have wrestling cameos, you're gonna make my list. It's easy. So what are your 7?
So my 7, I started off, number 7 was the Gridiron Gang. Just the work that I did in Conway at a place called Phoenix Recovery Center or Phoenix House made me like that movie even more. The drive that Sean Porter had to try to better those kids' lives in whatever way he could, even if it was so simple as teaching them family and responsibility outside of gang life. You know,
Right.
that just, it really spoke to me in that way. I forgot to say it yesterday, but it's such a good movie. It's one of the few movies that has a moment that kind of makes me tear up a little bit. I think Rocky's the only other one that does that to me, but but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I think with that one also, one of my favorite lines of that is like, we're doing it my way. Your way got you to this place.
Yeah.
And you're like, dang, no, I felt that.
Yeah, your way got you here. We're going to try things my way for a while. Yeah, he says that was something he really said too. It wasn't just for cinema.
Yeah. No, you can definitely tell.
I said yesterday I really want to find that documentary because I want to see the real Sean at work. You know, see just how close The Rock got to actually portraying him. But
yes,
my number 6 is The Water.
Oh, going back with the Gridiron Gang though, also great acting by The Rock.
Yes.
I think that it's arguably one of his better acting movies because nowadays he is basically playing himself.
Mm-hmm.
Where like there he was actually playing a character.
Yeah, he's got a wrestling movie coming out that might get surpassed. Gridiron Gang might get surpassed. We'll have to wait and see because you're right. He definitely really honed in on action hero and just doing his Rock face, you know, like
throw the eyebrow up.
Yeah,
like, calm down.
Basically, the way he is in Fast 7 is how he is in all of them, all his movies from that point on. But anyways, that's for another day. My number 6 was The Water Boy. It's not that it's bad. It's not that it's bad. All right. I know you have it number 1, but as endlessly quotable as it is, I think it's just a little bit of fatigue. I've said that a lot about movies. It's just because there are movies that I've seen so many times. I don't know if I could even put a number how many times I've seen The Water Boy. I watch it at least 3 times every football season. And so like I did rewatch it right before we're trying to record yesterday. I know that got messed up, but I couldn't personally put it higher over some of the other ones. I probably could have put it over in my number 4. I probably should have swapped them if we're being honest. Put number 5 at number 4 and then put Waterboy at number 5. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm going with what I have. Number 6 is The Waterboy. Number 5, Varsity Blues. You already mentioned it. Like you were saying, there's stuff in it that wasn't my experience playing high school ball. mostly because I'm not from Texas, and where I went to school in Malvern, football players aren't gods. That's the way it is in Texas. That's not the same experience in Arkansas. It might be in a couple of towns, but Malvern's not one of them. Until my senior year, we hadn't had a really good football team since '93. We had some spurt years when Coach Fogelman first got there, and then we really took off my senior year, and then they were even better the next year. Neither time did we win state. They finally won state a few years ago with a different coach. But anyways, not my experience is what I'm saying. Party scenes weren't my thing. Strip clubs weren't my thing. But as far as doing what I had to try to play through injury and really further messing up my body really spoke to me. you know,
You can relate as being an all-star. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, that's not what I mean at all. I was good, but I was injury prone. I was not an all-star. I didn't play enough to technically be an all-star.
Okay, that's the only reason I see.
I don't know. It's one of those what ifs.
What could have been? You could have been all-state quarterback. You could have been Paul Walker. Who knows?
Oh no. But I was a good lineman. I was getting recruited by several schools, even though I was injury prone. But once I had my knee surgery, they all quit calling.
Yeah.
Even the military quit calling. They said I couldn't go through basic with a surgery on a major joint in my body. But anyways, number 4, The Little Giants. I love that movie, man. Again, when I first got into football, was obviously playing Pee Wee, and I don't know, like growing as I've gotten older, the movie speaks to me more because like them kids just won't play. Like they don't have to get on the field; they just want to be on the team, And
Yeah.
I see no problem with that. Did we
Did
freeze?
you say Pee Wee champion?
Okay, we froze.
Oh.
Yeah, like they went after, like the whole point of the movie is one of the coaches who's an old football star from that town. He wanted to bring a Pee Wee state championship to the town, and I don't even know. Like we were talking about yesterday, I don't even know if that's a thing. I think it depends on where you're from, but I don't think that's a thing. At least not in football. I think hockey's a little different, but
Probably in Texas. It's probably a thing.
yeah, Texas, maybe Florida or California.
Yeah.
My next one was number 3 was The Longest Yard, Adam Sandler's version. I feel like I'm saying Taylor's version. But the Adam Sandler Longest Yard, endlessly quotable, like you said. Like the cast, like my notes literally say the cast. That's it. That's why it's right here. It's so rewatchable. I've not once felt fatigue watching that movie. Does that mean it needs to be number 1? No, because it's not near as good to me as my number 2 and number 1. It's just a fun movie. It's like Little Giants. Like it's fun. And I'm all about enjoyment when it comes to movies. If I can find enjoyment, normally I can overlook a lot of issues with a film. Like believability, like especially Fast and the Furious I mentioned earlier, that series, as long as the movie's fun, I can overlook a lot of stupid,
Yeah.
Once I start critiquing them as part of this channel, that's a whole nother story. But may have to skip Fast 9. But anyways, my number 2 is The Replacements.
Okay.
Keanu Reeves, Gene Hackman. I mean, I could just sit here for 20 minutes naming people. Jon Favreau, is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
I mean, I could just sit here and just name guys. The gentleman who plays his brother in Little Nicky, who plays Adam Sandler's brother in Little Nicky, he's in the movie. It's fantastic. It's again endlessly quotable, but really, what I love so much about it is a perfect encapsulation, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. I had trouble with that yesterday. I practiced it earlier before I called you. Um, but anyways, it's a perfect encapsulation of if you had once played football, or if you were an athlete at all. It doesn't have to necessarily be football, but what it would mean to get that second chance and what we wouldn't give for that second chance. It's just, I could go on and on about the movie. I should probably just move on to the number one so we can move on. My number one is Remember the Titans.
All right.
Like you said, strong side, left side. My favorite quote from the movie is when Coach Yost is talking about hopping on fumbles. You got to jump on it like you're a starving man for a Christmas ham. Some of the movie has some made up stuff in it for cinema reasons. Like the speech at the gravesite, that didn't happen. But a lot of it was true to real life, and it was true enough, where I don't take issue with any of the liberties that they took. I do wish they were a little bit more realistic to the championship game and the fact that how good they actually were. But again, they did what they did for cinema reasons. But they did a great job. Those coaches remind me of a couple of my coaches growing up, and then Coach Boone reminds me a lot of Sergeant Mitchell from my time in JROTC, the way that he was hard on me. And he was hard on me because he believed in me and he needed to get the best out of me. And that's just, my blood's pumping right now talking about it.
There you go. See, that makes the perfect movie. You want to be able to be relatable. Now, if the state championship was actually accurate and they're up by 20, I don't think it's really a nail biter that you're let's watch this.
Yeah, and it's like with Gary Bertier, like how I believe I'm pretty sure I read he was the player of the game in the state championship in real life. I might be wrong, but there's stuff that they had Julius do that I think Gary did. I don't know. But they fudged up when he had his accident for the purposes of the film. They needed that. Otherwise, it would have kind of been a thrown away thing right at the end.
Yeah.
Probably would have felt cheap if you really think about it, if they had done it in the correct order. Like, oh yeah, Gary got in an accident and now he's dead. Like, he didn't die then, but he did die later. It's like, what?
I'm sorry. We're going to bypass that? But yes, put in the comments the correct, how everything played out, if you agree or not.
Yeah, thinking about it now, as we discuss it, I actually don't think I have a problem with them mixing that up, mixing up when events happened, because for storytelling purposes for a film, that's the ultimate climax of the movie. Gary's hurt. He did live, but he is hurt. How can we come back from that?
Yeah, what are you going to do now that arguably one of your best players is out? How are you going to rise above that?
Yeah, he was the best player. What can we do now? He's not in the locker room now because he's in the hospital. He can't be on the sidelines for the same reason. How are we going to do this?
Right. All right, we're going to do grades. What grade would you give mine list?
I told you yesterday, B+. Only reason I wouldn't grade it higher is because there's one movie I've only seen once, and that's Greater.
Yeah.
And then there's one movie, your number 7, I've never seen it, so it's not fair to grade you for or against you because of those movies.
We can go ahead and just bump it up to an A- just because it is a great movie. So we can go ahead and just do that.
Oh, he's heard good things, so it's actually an A-.
Exactly. See, now we're on the same page. But I think with yours, I think we want to do probably a C+. Some of yours, while you say is rewatchable, I don't necessarily agree with, just my opinion. But overall, still a decent list. I've never seen Little Giants, so like with that, I can't really like, oh, that movie wasn't good or that movie was good. Never seen it. I think The Replacements is a little too high, my opinion. But what do you guys think in the comments? Let's put down there what grade you'd give us and how wrong or how right are we with our movies. All right.
All right.
Then I think we're gonna do players. I have an honorable mention, but you don't, correct?
I'll do an honorable mention after what we discussed yesterday. My honorable mention is Matt Jones
Okay.
of Arkansas. If you're not aware.
And Jaguars.
Oh yes, and a short stint with the Jaguars before he got in some problems.
Can't forget that. We're not going into those problems though.
Yeah, no, we're not digging into that. We're not here to talk down on anybody for their issues or struggles. But yes, Matt Jones is my honorable mention from his Razorback days.
Yes. Mine are Troy Polamalu.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, hair alone gives him on this list, and then Peyton Manning. Arguably,
I am gonna have to change my list a little bit, and it's because I can't believe I didn't think of this guy. Go on. I'm sorry.
Peyton Manning, arguably one of the most talented quarterbacks in NFL history, Tennessee history, and probably in high school too. A little too young to be watching him in high school.
Right.
But all right, so I'm gonna go first. So my number 5 with players is Tim Riggins from the Friday Night Lights show. You see that he was the heart and soul of that team, and he was able to once he got the ball that you were rooting for him to score and everything, and you saw the growth of his character from the first episode to the last episode was phenomenal in my opinion. And we've already discussed a little bit. Friday Night Lights, the show, is 10 times better than the movie. I'm sorry. I'd much rather watch the show than the movie.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. My number 4 is Hunter Henry. He has the greatest play in Razorback history with a Hunter heave, which needed him yesterday against Ole Miss. But that's besides the point. The offense wasn't the issue, but we're not going to get into that.
Yeah, not getting into that.
We're not getting into that.
It'll be a 4-hour episode.
He is arguably the greatest tight end in Arkansas history. Former John Mackey Award winner. Plus, right now, he's playing for the Patriots, which is my favorite team. So he's on my favorite team in college, on my favorite team in the NFL. He's clearly going to make this list.
Yeah.
My number 3 is Darren McFadden. He is the greatest Razorback, in my opinion, in history. When I think of the Razorbacks, that is my number 1 guy. His number should be retired. And everyone who has now worn number 5 is always compared to him. So just go ahead and retire his number. Say, hey, man, thank you for everything you've done for us. Here's your number retired.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. I am on the fence with that. I wouldn't hate if they did it, but I also don't care that they haven't. I just think it should be somebody who earns the number, not just anybody who comes in. If they're not going to retire it.
Just go ahead and retire it. All you got to do, Hunter Yurchek talking to you. Just go ahead and retire it. What's the worst that can happen?
My man, Hunter Yurachek is not going to watch this episode.
I'm shout him out right now. If you know him in the comments, shout him out. Tell him retire Darren Fadden's number.
How about we tag when I post this episode? I'll tag Arkansas Razorback football. Let's see what happens.
Let's tag him. I want everyone to see this.
I'll tag Hog Sports Live. We'll see if Trey Biddy gives us an opinion.
Yeah, retire the number.
Again, I don't hate the take. I'm not going to disagree with you. Me personally, I don't know that he actually did enough to get it retired.
What do you mean he didn't do enough?
Well, by your accounts, you're meaning that the number 84 should be retired.
I'm not going that far. I'm not going to go that far. Hunter Henry was a great player. Clearly, he made it on my list.
Zach, I'm just trying to rile you up.
Well, it's working.
No.
Darren Fadden should have won the Heisman.
Oh, no, I know.
Houston Nutt said. Should have won the Heisman.
Could have won it twice.
Could have won it twice.
But
Tebow won. He did deserve that one. Because of what he did. But the fact that, we don't give it to sophomores. And then the next year you give it to a sophomore. Okay.
And then 7 years later, they give it to a freshman.
Yeah. You give it to the best player. And Darren Fadden was the best player.
By far.
In the country.
Troy Smith won that first one?
Yeah.
Or is it Tebow? One of them won. Those were the two winners. I just don't remember the order.
It was Troy Smith first.
Uh-huh.
Where is he at? Now, mind you, Darren Fadden, but he did make it to the NFL. He just went to the Raiders, which, not bashing any NFL team, but if you know, you know.
Yeah. No, like I was saying, I was just trying to rally you up. I don't hate that they haven't retired his number. I also wouldn't hate if they did. I just think if they're not going to, Tyrone Broden shouldn't have been allowed to wear it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it needs to be earned and voted on by teammates. I think LSU does that with the number 7 and 18, I think.
Yeah, I think something like that.
I heard something about it.
We've been on a tangent during Fadden. He's not even my number one guy. Let's focus. We're on to number 2.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee. Great punter, but even better, he is living my dream. This man gets paid to be on ESPN talking sports, and then when he wants to, goes to WWE and does a commentary. We've already discussed my love for wrestling and football. He's doing both.
Yeah.
And then plus he's on College Game Day, throwing his shirt around like it's nothing. Having a blast. Pat, look, once again, Pat, look at me. If you ever want to trade places, even for like a week, I'm down. Just let me know. Put it in the comments, DM me, whatever. We'll find this out. We can get this together. I'll host the Pat McAfee show for a week. I will be honored.
I do want to say I don't hate him being your number 2 because he is so fun. He was so fun to watch.
Yes.
Like, I could not care less about the Colts organization, but he was fun to watch especially for a kicker.
For a punter.
Yeah, for a punter. Well, I was thinking kicker because he did kickoffs, but
yeah. See, Pat already got it down for the brand. What else you need? And then my number 1, as a Patriots fan, he is the reason I'm a Patriots fan. It's Tom Brady. He's the GOAT, the greatest of all time. No question. What he did was phenomenal. As a Patriots fan, we knew that we not only were going to the playoffs, but be Super Bowl contenders because we had number 12. And everything he did for New England, and we can go back and forth, debate with Bill, Brady, whatever. It was both. Let's be real.
It was Brady. Who
But
said that?
you see in the background, I see someone yelling Brady. No, it was for both. It was both, but that's okay because at the end of the day, all the Patriots did was win. And that is my A+ list. If you agree, put in the comments. If you disagree, still put in the comments.
It is a good list. It is a good list. So I know I said I didn't feel comfortable changing my movies list. I had to change my player list. Because while you were talking, I can't believe when I mentioned I was making the joke about Matt Jones, I couldn't believe the player that popped in my head. And I was like, oh my, almost number one for me. I had to move some stuff around. I had Willie Beeman from Any Given Sunday on number 5. He's going to have to go to honorable mentions.
Wow.
Yeah. Number 5 is Matt Stafford. Again,
Okay.
as a Lions fan, I know they've been more successful since he left. Their lack of success was not his fault when he was there.
Nope.
No. Poor guy couldn't stay healthy because he was playing so hard for them and also had no offensive line. And then the moment he leaves, he goes to a team in trading for the current quarterback of that team and wins the Super Bowl with the almost exact same team that Jared Goff had played with the year before. And I don't remember if they even made the playoffs that year before they traded for him. I know they made the Super Bowl 2 years before that, but
Yep. And then New England said, no, sir.
yeah. New England won probably the most boring Super Bowl.
I love that Super Bowl.
I didn't hate it. It's just I'm an offense guy. I like to see points, you know. But anyways, my number 4 from the replacements, Shane Falco.
Falco.
Partially because he's not real. So having him at number 2, like I had him yesterday, I wasn't super comfortable with anymore. I probably should have him at 5, but doesn't matter. Falco, like we were talking about yesterday, very, very Steve Young, Joe Montana-esque inspiration for that character.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since he wore the number 16, that had to be purposeful. But watching the movie now, watching Replacements now, he kind of reminds me more of Brady with the long hair. Brady hadn't had a long hair in a long time, but just the way that his heart and his attitude and the trying to will his team to win. You know, it's much more Brady coded, even though he was still in college when this movie was made. So it was for sure Joe Montana, Steve Young mixture, I think, for inspiration. But number 3, like you, D-Mac, Darren McFadden. One of my honorable mentions was Matt Jones. Him and McFadden are who I think of. Matt Jones a little bit more, but McFadden just has a certain air about him. You know, people around the state now probably don't know who Matt Jones is, but they know McFadden. Like they might, he was a quarterback, maybe. They know McFadden. You know, the kids nowadays, like kids at the middle school or high school or elementary for sure not elementary, but that I sub at, they kind of know who McFadden is, but not really. So that's kind of dying out, but still, like the amount of people who will be alive for a long time, they know Darren McFadden, you know. So that's why he's on the list and not Matt Jones. But everything you said, I don't disagree with anything you said about how great he was. The Super Bowls, he should have won Super Bowls, but the Heisman's he should have won. I mean, that alone could be a whole 2-hour episode, you know,
Uh-huh.
comparing what he did for the Hogs and what the Winners did. Now, I don't know, Tebow has a better case, but again, that's a whole nother episode for some other day, maybe. But my number 2, he wasn't Hawaiian, but the flying Hawaiian Colt Brennan,
Okay.
quarterback of the Hawaii Warriors back in 2006 to 2008, 2005, 2007. Around the time I got into football, right? So
Right.
Matt Jones was the first player that I remember watching on TV, watching the Hogs whenever I first started playing Pee Wee. Then Tom Brady, the first game I ever saw was a Super Bowl, was against the Panthers. That was the first NFL game I ever watched. But what made me fall in love with offense and truly fall in love with football was the first time I saw how exciting football could be with the way Hawaii's run and shoot was run by Colt Brennan in those years that he was there. He set so many records. Unfortunately, he has passed away, so he doesn't get to hear me talk good about him. And unfortunately, his long-standing records that he had were broken by Joe Burrow a few years ago, and then very quickly by Bailey Zappi the year after.
Yeah. That one did age well.
Regardless, had 2 very impressive records for passing yards in the season and passing touchdowns in the season. I think if he stayed one more year, I don't remember if he ran out of eligibility or if he was just ready to go pro. I don't remember what the situation was, but I think he had a chance to chase Timmy Chang's school record for passing yard. Anyways, I could do a whole episode about Colt Brennan too. But my number 1.
Colt Brennan sounds like a Jeopardy question, though. It's like, who was the quarterback for Hawaii? No one knows.
Oh, they know him. People know him. And they'll know this new kid if he can stay healthy. But anyways, that's not the point. We're not talking about Hawaii right now. My number 1, Tom Edward Patrick Brady.
First of all, if we're going to go full name, you need to go full name. It's Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. If you're going to have him on your number 1.
I was just about to ask. Am I forgetting a junior in there?
Yes.
But everything, I mean, what I said about Shane Falco really applies to Brady. Just Brady actually did it. He's real. He did stuff in his career that you really only see in movies. Literally the thought of, I may not be the most talented, but I can will my way in because that's how strong my heart is, how much heart I have. That was the whole persona of Shane Falco and the Replacements. Well, Brady not only had that in real life and was able to do it somehow, he did it he did things that people probably will never see again. We were talking yesterday and somebody did the math. I don't remember who it was. There was a point in his career he was more likely to make a Super Bowl than Steph Curry was to make a 3-pointer at the time. That's insane to think about. When you think about it, you think about it in the perspective of how many years he played, how many years he actually played when he wasn't hurt. He had that knee injury in 2008, and then the year before that, he didn't play his rookie year, and he only played maybe half the year that they won that first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But you take the full years, he went to 10 Super Bowls in like 20 years. That's 50% chance he was making the Super Bowl. That's insane. Like, Patrick Mahomes is getting close if he keeps making Super Bowls. but he's still speculation. You have to wait and see what happens, you know.
Yeah.
But oh, he lost 3. He can't be the GOAT. Montana never lost one. Montana only went to the number he has. Brady went to 10.
He literally doubled him and then add 2.
Yeah, so he went to 10 and he has a 70% win ratio. Give me a break. Does that? Nobody, not nobody. Mahomes, maybe. But again, we have to wait and see. You just don't know yet.
He is the Michael Jordan of the NFL.
Yes. It's just like there's so many what ifs on certain situations or certain decision makings where he could have won all 10, but those are what ifs. It's like with Mahomes. Well, he might. Well, that's a what if, you know. You can't just go with the facts that we have.
We don't discuss the Eli Manning Giants Super Bowls. We're gonna move past that. Because that still gets me frustrated.
All right, let's move on to our favorite coaches, real and or from movies. Zach, you go ahead.
All right. So my number 5 is Dick Vermeil. He is a coach who is represented in 2 movies, which that gets you on this list regardless. And plus he helped Kurt Warner become a Hall of Fame coach, quarterback. And he was part of Vince Papale, which turned into Invincible. So you look at that, and plus he was a winner, multiple times Super Bowl champion, if I remember correctly. And it shows like he was able to take chances on people, which is when it comes to the NFL, that's what everyone wants. They want someone that takes a chance on them because it's very difficult to make it to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
My number 4 is Tony Dungy. While yes, I was a Patriots fan, and the Patriots and Colts felt like every year they were playing each other in the playoffs. When the Colts did actually beat the Patriots in 2006, I was rooting for the Colts in the Super Bowl against the Bears. I had my little Peyton Manning jersey on. I was rooting for Peyton. I was rooting for Tony Dungy, first black coach to win a Super Bowl. That's impressive in itself. Being able to have that prestige of being able to call yourself Super Bowl champion, plus his faith, what he believed in, and how open he was about that. Just a great man overall. My number 3 is Houston Nutt. As a Razorback fan, in my lifetime, he has been the one who has the most long success. I understand Bobby Petrino. He gave us great heights for a couple of years, but Houston Nutt was the one who was leading us to SEC championships. He was, at the time, he didn't really have to face Nick Saban at Alabama. He did have to face them in LSU, but he's one of the coaches who has beaten Nick Saban. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of coaches can say that. And being able to just have success there, his falling out with the Razorbacks, we don't want to go into just because that some people that tarnishes his legacy, but he's still a great coach in my opinion. My number 2 is Coach Eric Taylor from Friday Night Lights, the show. He is, all you have to say is clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. His motivation, leading 2 separate high schools to a state championship, super impressive. His ability to motivate people and everything, which is top tier. And my number 1, Nick Saban, the greatest coach in football. I would say at least college. You can make an argument of all time, just the greatest coach. This dude never had a losing season in his history. We talk about how great Mike Tomlin is because he goes like 8-8 or higher, 500 or above. Like, that's what Nick Saban, all he did was win. Like, I think DJ Khaled, he based that song off of Nick Saban. because all he does is win. Whether it was at Toledo, Michigan State, LSU, and Alabama. And trust me, as an Arkansas fan, I was on the other side of a lot of those beatdowns with Alabama and Nick Saban. They weren't fun, but I still respected him.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the fact that he co-wrote a book that is one of my favorites on my shelf, in my library. One of the few books I've read multiple times. I enjoy it every single time, and I feel like I can get something out of it every time I read it. And that is my list. Clearly mine is B plus, A minus. I'm not going to give myself like A plus every time, but easily it's a B minus, B plus, A minus list.
Well, my number 5, Houston Nutt. He is one of the few coaches that I can listen to old clips of him trying to pump up the Hogs, and it makes me ready to strap up again. You know, I think Saban's the only other one, and I'll get to him in a minute. Or Eric Taylor, watching Friday Night Lights. But that's Hollywood writing. That's not off the cuff like Houston or Nick. I say their first names like I'm friends with them.
Oh, Nicholas.
Just coining that whole ain't but one Razorback, I don't know. People know that quote. I don't know that they know it's by Houston Nutt. I'm pretty sure he's the first one that said it because that was like his big recruiting pitch that he was known for. He even says it in the movie Blindside when they got him to come back for like probably $5 million.
While he was coaching Ole Miss.
Yeah, while he was coaching Ole Miss. That's what I mean. Yeah. And then Saban, of course, in the LSU get up. But my number 4 and my number 3 are made up coaches, just because what they meant to their specific movies. Sam Winters, he was the head coach of the program. Him and my number 3, Tony D'Amato, I guess I can kind of talk about interchangeably because I have the same thing to say about both of them. They're very hard-nosed. I'm not your dad, but I'll give you some fatherly advice if you need it. But also, I'm just your coach, man. You need to seek actual help. That was Sam Winters' big thing. He even sends a player to rehab in that movie. But Tony D'Amato, Al Pacino, with probably the greatest speech ever given. And it was unfortunately in a movie. It's not real. But
it's real to me.
Yeah, it's real to me. So good. I actually listened to it yesterday before we tried recording and all that got messed up. My number 2 is kind of a twofer. Herman Boone and Bill Yost. I believe that was his first name, Bill. I hope I didn't just say the wrong name. But Coach Yost from, remember Titans, but also real life. Yeah, put it in the comments if I said the wrong first name for Coach Yost. I didn't. I hope I didn't. It's a chance I did. I'm so bad with names. Even if I'm taking notes. I'm so bad with names. But just what I said yesterday, I'm going to kind of repeat. I don't think apart they have that success from that season in real life or in the movie. Movie, I guess they could have written it to be that way. But, I mean, in real life, I don't think those guys get through to the players during that hostile time and everything that they were going through. Sorry, I'm fighting my stutter, and it really got me on that last word.
You're good.
But that was such a hectic, hostile, violent. I mean, it's still like that today in a lot of regards. But I just don't think Coach Boone reaches both white and black players the way that he does without Coach Yost and them kind of bouncing off of each other and finding a way to themselves work together. And then within that, the players end up finding a way to work together. Because, like one of the quotes in that movie, attitude reflects leadership. I don't know if Julius really said that in real life, but I believe them not looking like combatants anymore went a long way in that summer camp. Because I'm pretty sure that was pretty true with like how they come together at camp. I think that they if they don't find that common ground and they don't actually start to work together, I think the whole thing falls apart, you know? And so it's just that it's powerful, whether you're talking about the movie or the true story. My number one is Nick Saban. All the reasons you said. I don't know that there's anybody that people that current coaches aren't trying to emulate, if not Nick Saban. Whether it's work ethic that they're trying to instill or leadership they're trying to instill, whatever. Whether they're offense or defensive minded. I know he was very much a defensive guy, or is. He's not dead. But he's very much defensive minded. Whether they're offense or defense, coaches emulate him. Right now, the closest to him is one of his former underlings, is Kirby Smart. And that's the closest to him, you know, and he still has a long way to go. But winning 7 national championships is absolutely insane. With the number of teams there are and the odds that you even make a natty, especially with the playoff setting now, the odds of actually making a national championship appearance, he didn't deal with that a whole lot, but he did play in 7 national championship BCS games or playoff national championships. No, we're not going to get into the shared thing because that's all garbage, but
Shared, no, because then that means Arkansas doesn't have a national championship.
they don't.
We have a national championship. 1964.
They didn't play for it.
No.
They didn't play for it.
No. But by golly, my grandparents were alive. And that means there was a national championship.
They didn't play for it. Anyways, he coached in and won 7 national titles. That will never be broken, I don't think. Kirby might do it, maybe. But I don't know. NIL makes it very hard, I think.
It's a very big mountain to climb, 100%. Dude, Kellen DeBoer at Alabama loses 1 game, and everyone's like, well, get him out of here. He's not Nick Saban. It's like, spoiler, guys, no one is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think even Kirby Smart at Alabama would be facing the same problems. You know, like, it doesn't matter. Like, Georgia, I don't think they'd ever want to fire him unless he went 0-12, which I don't see ever happening. I think he's too good of a coach, and he recruits too well. But I don't know. I know the way NIL is now, it's going to make it very hard for anybody to have the success that Saban had. It's just, I think he's insurmountable. I think Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes might get close, but I don't think he'll do it. I would like to see it happen just so I could see such greatness twice in my lifetime, you know? But will it happen? Probably not. Same thing with Saban. You know, I know he technically, Paterno had almost said Petrino. Paterno has the best win percentage technically. I know a lot got vacated because of all that stupidity up there at Penn State that we don't have to get into. But Saban for sure the greatest.
Yes.
But, okay. We're going to move on to a couple of hot takes before we end this. Films that not technically a football movie, but you think it counts. What do you got?
So there's one that I have talked with multiple people, and everyone disagrees with me, but they are clearly wrong. The answer is Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. That's the only answer. It's the correct answer. It's a football movie because it's about a football mascot. It's the person who stole the mascot was the kicker. Also, it has Dan Marino in it. Like, how much more football do you need? Yeah, okay, they didn't play football in the movie. Who cares? It's about a mascot, about a kicker, and about the quarterback. That's basically all you need to be a football movie. So it is a football movie. Agree or disagree? Put in the comments. But clearly, I am right. What about you?
Does that mean Bad Boys 2 is a football movie? It has Dan Marino in it. He's in there for a few seconds.
Hey, shoot, Dan Marino is arguably greatest quarterback to never win a Super Bowl. So who knows?
I don't think it's arguably. I mean, I think that is. Like he is.
It's everyone's opinion. It could be someone may say like Dante Culpepper is the greatest. I don't know.
Um so I don't have one. I don't like just even thinking about it now. I know all the conversations I've had about Rudy, less foot like there's less than 15 minutes of football time in the movie. There's some practice stuff. Maybe 3 minutes of the movie is that, and then you've got the most of it, like 7 to 8 minutes, maybe at the end of the movie with when he records that tackle that he was offsides on and it should have been flag thrown. But it was the end of the game, so I don't think it mattered. But
Yeah, wasn't Notre Dame like either way up or way behind that?
yeah,
No,
I think in real life, Joe Montana said in an interview they were up by a lot. So I don't think they would have threw the flag. That's probably why they didn't. They're probably like, let's get out of here. The movie takes its liberties. We don't have to get into that. But Rudy, not technically a football movie. I don't think it's a movie about Rudy. It's about him trying to get into Notre Dame. And this is about him at Notre Dame. You see so much more of him in classes or talking to friends or painting a football helmet than you do actually, or him talking about football, him talking about it, not playing it. The best scene in the movie is about him trying to quit the team. And
then their jersey down, and Joe Montana's going interview and been like, "Yeah, that 100% did not happen."
oh yeah, about him getting carried off the field and stuff.
Yeah, and like them like setting their jersey down, like we're not playing.
Oh yeah,
Rudy's playing.
Yeah,
and
they would have been cut. They also had so many extra players that weren't technically on scholarship. Like the movie kind of goes into that, that it wouldn't have, if that had happened in real life, that coach would have for sure just played the third string. But
and depending on how well Notre Dame was, they could have won the game.
They might have. Because that was for sure the glory days of Notre Dame. All right, last one. Is there a football story you don't believe warranted a movie?
Well, if we're going off what we just said, maybe Rudy.
Yeah. I think a solid documentary for sure. Like my take is The Junction Boys. Story about when Bear Bryant took his first team at Texas A&M to Junction something another in Southwest Texas, and they had two-a-days. That's all it is. Yes, there's a lot of verbal lashings from him. He was everybody knows how tough he is, or how tough he was, and how he talked to his players. But also, like, if players were throwing up fists, he wanted his coaches ready to fight them. So that's interesting to know. But what we were talking about before we started trying to record yesterday, if they made a movie about Bear Bryant, that would be maybe 40 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't think it warranted a movie. Like, I think ESPN put it out as like a made for TV movie, maybe. I don't think that matters. I don't know. I know two-a-days were my favorite part of football. The games were cool. I loved two-a-days. I don't know why, but I did. Yes, he sucked and all that, but I liked it. I don't know. I just enjoyed playing with my teammates, like I enjoyed the camaraderie part of football more than anything, I guess. Whether I was hurt or not. But and then the other part of that is, what story would you like to see told? I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Tom Brady's story, because a movie's coming. They already made one about Kurt Warner, so
Yeah.
one about Tom Brady's coming.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that hasn't come out yet.
They've already done one, 80 for Brady. That was clearly about Tom Brady.
About those old ladies going to see the Super Bowl against the Falcons.
Yep, clearly about Brady.
Anyways, we're not going to get into that because that movie's ridiculous. But I mean, like an actual biopic of some sort about him. It's coming. I'm just interested to see what they'll do with it, and I'm interested to see how much they how much liberties they take. But that's what I'm interested to see.
As long as you get the big one that he was a 6th rounder, pick 199. Don't say, oh, he was a 7th rounder, undrafted. Pick 265. He was Mr. Irrelevant. It's like, no, you clearly know what he was.
Yeah, I think some stuff they can't get away with fudging up because certain facts are just so well known from being drilled into our heads, just while he was playing. And then even now, the draft, they can't go through the draft without talking about Brady, or a player can't get drafted late without comparing himself to Brady. This is my Tom Brady moment or whatever.
Like, all right, rookie, let's make the team first, and then we can discuss potentially. Right now, we're staying when you're just make the team first, and then we can go from there.
My big thing with the Brady story is what I mean by I'm curious what they do with this story. I'm curious if they'll do like up to winning his first Super Bowl, or if that'll just be a piece and like it's about the whole thing. Several movies could be made, but
I think a lot of people had Patriots fatigue, so I don't know if they want to do a 7 series of Tom Brady, like his year in 2008 when he injured his ACL. How would you feel about that? Okay.
Yeah.
It sucked.
It's not that I want to see a Tom Brady movie. I just know it's coming, so I'm interested to see what's going to happen. It's like the Junction Boys thing. Like that, a very good, or even Rudy, a very good story to do a documentary on, like a long one, a multiple part documentary. But I don't know about a movie necessarily, but it's coming. They made one about Kurt Warner, so they're going to make one about Brady.
Which, that's a good movie. American Underdog. It's a pretty good movie.
I hadn't seen it. I do plan on watching it eventually, though.
Yeah, but my person, who I definitely think should be made into a movie, is Tim Tebow.
Yes.
He did literally from birth when his parents were told, hey, you should probably abort the kid. And then to what led to him becoming a multiple-time national champion, his John 3:16 trending worldwide, and then making it to the NFL, being a successful NFL quarterback. Not a lot of people want to talk about that, but he was a successful quarterback. He got replaced by Peyton Manning. A lot of quarterbacks would have been replaced with Peyton Manning.
At that time, pretty much only Brady wouldn't have been.
Yeah. Like you don't know, you didn't know how well Peyton was going to come back from his neck injury, but you're like, hey, we have the
Mhm.
option to get Peyton Manning. The answer is always yes. I'll take that. But still, Tim Tebow,
Yeah.
great story. We can go back and forth once again with McFadden if Tebow deserved it over McFadden. But I think Tim Tebow did deserve it. But in my opinion, Darren McFadden is still my boy. But I would still love
Yeah.
it, Tim Tebow.
Yeah, I think Tebow's numbers the next year were better, and he should have won it that year. But McFadden for sure should have won that first one,
Yeah.
or the one that Tebow actually won. But
Wouldn't have been mad either way.
well, here's to our first episode, and then here's to hoping Arkansas doesn't go 3-8 or 3-9.
Yeah. Make sure to say don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
You're right. Yes. People, I have been forgetting this every video, and Zach and Millie have pointed out to me that I have been so bad. Please like the video and please subscribe to the channel. I would love for this to keep building. I'd love for this to keep building. This is still the very infancy of what I have planned and what I have planned for the channel and what I hope to see it do and hope to see all of us accomplish. Zach, thank you for doing this with me today, man.
Tell them turn on notifications. Hit the bell for notifications.
Yeah, and turn on your notifications so you see whenever I post a lot. Ask Zachary. I've been on the ball. I work pretty much 7 days a week on the channel, even if I work at the school. If I'm not working on church stuff, I'm working on channel stuff. So please turn on your notifications so you know when I'm putting out schedules or I'm putting out videos. A lot of stuff coming out here in the near future. A lot of Stranger Things stuff. Zach and my sister Millie will be back in 2 weeks, I believe. 2 weeks, right?
I think so.
2 or 3 weeks. October 5th, we're recording. October 7th, it comes out. It'll be a rewatch retrospective of Halloween Town and Halloween Town 2. So I'm very excited about that. Especially that one will be in person. It won't be as spotty and weird through Zoom here. But yeah, y'all check all that out. Please like and subscribe.